Hey everybody, welcome to the Cancer full moon reading that's going to be happening on January 17th of 2022. Of course, Cancer is ruled by the moon, so a normal moon already impacts us because, like we always say, we're water, and the moon, the tides change, our inner world changes. So with the full moon happening, just imagine the amplification of whatever emotion that you're going to be feeling around the time is going to be feeling huge. So just keep that in mind as the full moon comes in, and focus on what you want to amplify. And if you're amplifying a dark shadow emotion and you want to feel it deep, but just know that if you want to switch it up, you do have the ability to switch your focus onto a different emotion to amplify that instead. So this is what we're going to look at first, just real quick on this intro. Just the full moon in general has a cycle, not only like about every month, 28, 29 days, the moon phases from the new moon to the full moon. It also goes through this huge 6-month-ish rotation from the new moon in the sign to the full moon in the sign. So the last new moon that happened in Cancer is actually back on July 9th of 2021. So if you go back and look at what was going on around that time for you, because that energy was about new beginnings in our private life, like forward movement in our connections with people or connections with places that we hold dear. So really relationships and that home feeling, and also could have been around your self-care, because this is all about your private inner world, the Cancer sign, the moon, nurturing type energy as well. So when you're looking back and seeing what was beginning then when we look into the full moon in Cancer, then you can look at what is leaving you, it's like this culmination. Whatever seeds you planted during the new moon have come to a harvest, and now you're harvesting it. Then you're like, okay, what am I wanting to remove based on my journey over the last 6 months? Because now you're going to be on the 6-month journey on your inner world from this full moon to the next new moon in Cancer this year. So this energy of the full moon in Cancer can bring these feelings as if things are being resolved, or you're receiving revelations of the emotionally hidden, because the moon energy does help us get into the subconscious, the unconscious, kind of step behind the veil. So you might also have these feelings as soon as those revelations come in, because it is bringing you this inner conclusion, this inner resolution. So you might feel like, okay, I get it, all is well, or you feel at least that it soon will be. So for this reading today, for each of the zodiac signs, we're going to be looking at what emotions are you ready to let go of? What emotional waters are you ready to travel on now that you've made this journey halfway? So we're going to go ahead and jump into your specific reading right now. All right, my Geminis, this is your Cancer full moon reading. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Ancestor Path Tarot and just see what the Creator wants you to know about. What emotion are you ready to let go of or transform? All right, so let's take a look here for our Geminis. Okay, this is going to be your card right here. And you've got the King of Cups. So cups, of course, are our emotions. And the King of Cups is actually like the highest emotion you can experience, which is the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. It's what we're made out of on the other side. But that's not what you're ready to let go of. What this card is meaning for you is the message that the King of Cups really gives to everyone when it appears in a reading. The king, having been through all of the emotional experiences of the cup suit, comes away with this understanding that when you make decisions strictly from an emotional place, usually because our emotions in the human form, we're going through so much fight or flight, that making decisions strictly on that doesn't fend well for our human experience as far as the peace and love and joy. It definitely gives us our shadow experience. But the other side of it is, being an air sign, I am also a fellow air sign with my sun sign anyway, is that we can make decisions too much in our logical mind. So what this is bringing in for you around this Cancer full moon is definitely, because it's such an emotional moon, it's telling you to let go of making decisions so much of the mind. So getting out of our mind so much and balancing it with emotion is the huge little message, which of course is what the Cancer is all about. Cancer sign, right? It is a water sign. It's the moon sign, like I mentioned in the introduction. So huge emotional wave coming, and it's like they're saying, go with it. Allow yourself to feel and get out of your mind so much. Allow that emotion to pull you into a more balanced state of when you're making decisions. We're also going to pull from these Naked Heart Tarot and just see what the Creator wants you to know around this release of this emotion or transformation of the emotions. So your message really isn't about what emotions are you ready to let go of. It's like, what emotions are you ready to embrace? Because your mind will take you so much into a logical place. It'll compartmentalize your emotions to an extent. And we're going to pull at least a card for each of the 3 weeks around this full moon. The week before the full moon, the week after the full moon, and the second week after the full moon. So for the first week before the full moon, okay, they want that one, and actually they want that one too. And then what about the week after? So the full moon hits, and then the week after that full moon. Okay, you got 2 there too. And then the second week after. Yeah. Oh, actually, I thought there was only going to be 1, but you got 2, 2, and 2. So let's take a look here. The week before the full moon, you got the Spirit of Cups, which is the King of Cups in a regular suit. So you've got it again, double. They're like, yes, the emotional wave is coming, but don't be afraid of it, because you are able to dive deep into that ocean, and just know that the unconditional love is the ultimate emotion that you can connect to during this time. Because here's that Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is also in this King of Cups. But they offer you the chalice, they offer you the Holy Grail, which is full of the essence of our Creator. It's full of that unconditional love from the other side. So you're being offered that, and that is like your safety net, knowing that any emotion you feel is either of our fear realm, like we're talking about, that we're fearing losing conditional love, or it is of the essence of who we truly are, which is the unconditional love from the other side. So this is definitely coming in. Even the week before, you're starting to feel that wave come in. Yeah, more cups. 3 of Cups. And I love this because, one, this represents like joy and celebration. I mean, I love dolphins, and they are very joyful. They always seem like they're smiling all the time, right? Just very highly intelligent. And they have sonar, which the 3 of Cups has a special meaning for me and with my spirit guides and my posse on the other side of all those beings of unconditional love and light that are over there. This is them saying that you can connect to the other side in such a strong way with this veil being thin. Whereas before, you have like this mind, when we're so much in our mind, we're so much in thinking about this world, all the expectations and the shoulds, the supposed tos, the need tos, the have tos. Our mind keeps us very busy out there. But this is about bringing this attention to your inner world and to the upper world, because this is them saying, we want you to know that we are with you. We want you to talk with us. And if you raise your vibration to this level of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter instead of the chaotic world of the outside world, because that's so noisy. If you take time away and connect, then you're going to feel this beautiful wave. I mean, literally, this wave of unconditional love come into your heart like you haven't felt it before. So it's a great opportunity to do that. And that energy is coming up and hitting you right before the full moon. That week before, it's like just exponentially rising, and then the full moon hits, which brings you into this week. And then you have the Spirit of Wands. So this would be the King of Wands in a regular deck. And Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha, your passion, but it also represents your spirit. This being the highest spirit that you can connect to would be your higher self, would be the other worlds. So they're saying, yes, we're continuing that. So you have this big climax of the full moon energy coming in, but they're saying, yeah, these 2 weeks are all about connecting emotionally to the higher realms, to the spiritual realms, to that place of unconditional love. So yeah, definitely that's popping in here. And you got the Six of Pentacles here. This reminds me, just the image on the card reminds me of Pisces. And I'll talk about the Six of Pentacles here in a minute. But when you look at that and it's the Pisces bring a beautiful energy because they're the ones that do the deep diving. They're the ones that master the water signs, and they're able to go so deep into the dark shadows of emotion and into the bright side of the pond of emotion too. So there's this beautiful Piscean energy that's coming in. But the Six of Pentacles, the Pentacles is about the outside world. It's about understanding this ability to receive as well as give. And I call it my codependency awareness card. So I really feel like, well, this emotion that's coming in is allowing you to question these thoughts you have about your worth. Because in a codependent relationship, enablers, of which I'm in a recovering enabler, so I totally am not judging anyone who's an enabler, but the awareness that comes with it is amazing, because enablers, we have this core belief that came from somewhere from growing up that if we are not able to give something to someone, then we're worthless. Why would anyone want to be around us unless we can give them something? And so we have that little belief that's like I talk about, that fear that's in there bubbling up always, that if I'm not able to give and people are trying to give to me, I can't accept what they have to give because I need to be the one giving to feel safe and secure. Well, what happens in a relationship, as you come in as two adults, usually it's equal giving and receiving in the beginning of it, but immediately we try to convert it as an enabler to more of a adult child, a mama bird and a baby bird. I want to be the one that's giving to you always, always, always. And like, well, I'm going to give back. I'm like, no, baby bird, you can't give to me. I need to be the one giving to you. And so we give and we give and we give until we're exhausted and resentful. And then the poor baby bird on that side is like, well, I need to give, but if you won't let me give to you, then I'm going to give out here. And so if it's like a romantic relationship, that can mean an affair. That could mean no matter what type of relationship, they become workaholics and invest all the energy into work because they're getting that feeling of giving, that satisfaction of giving from there. Or they find a hobby, or they friends, or working out. They'll invest their energy somewhere else besides this relationship because it's one-sided. And this awareness that comes with that is like, oh, wow. So it brings it into our face. It allows us to look at that belief about our worth. And we then, instead of defining ourselves by what we can give and not receive, we start to fill up like this cup here. We become the chalice. We allow the unconditional love to fill us up, and then we feel whole and complete, and everyone else gets the overflow. So we allow ourselves to receive from a source that is stable, that is unconditional, and we can trust it. That's the unconditional love of the Creator. No conditions. Nothing you can do to earn it, nothing you can do to lose it. But on the outside world, when we're defining ourselves by how we can give and we're trying to receive from the outside world, all of that is unstable, right? Because people change or pass away, situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, burn down, or are stolen. So that's unstable. Our worth is unstable when it's all based on that outside. But when we find this from within, it transforms, and we allow ourselves to receive from on high, and then we fill up and it overflows. And we're not exhausted anymore because we're filled up first and everyone else gets the overflow. And trust me, what we've been giving people, when we're in a codependent relationship, what we give to others, it is bitter and it is sour, the water we give. And so when we become, quote, selfish and fill up first with this unconditional love, what overflows out to people is so much sweeter and delicious because there's no expectations on it. It's all extra. We're allowing everyone else, and we're feeling whole and complete and energized. We don't have that bitterness and resentfulness anymore. And so we just give this beautiful unconditional love as well. So it's a beautiful transformation that gets sparked with all this beautiful energy that you're getting from the other side, which takes you into the second week after the full moon. Yeah, here you go. 3 of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. So everything I was talking about that has been bringing that, being air signs takes so much of our mental energy is this. And I call this the expectations card because it represents what our heart feels like when we're disappointed and when we're fearing letting other people down or being rejected. And this is wonderful because this is like, this is what you're able to release because you've had this great contrast of these 2 weeks. And then you start questioning these expectations. You start questioning whether heartbreak is really true or not, because ultimately your higher self, your spiritual self, this, who you really connect with this week after the full moon, that heart can never be broken. But we come here to experience what it might feel like to feel heartbroken and to feel this pain. And that pain is actually our fear, that fight or flight triggering in our heart. It's like when someone startles you and scares you, you have that, little pain that goes through your heart to activate and to protect ourselves, either run or fight. Well, that's what how we're triggered with emotional monsters too, when we feel like, oh, I'm going to get rejected, and because they're going to leave me because I can't give anything to them. Oh, this is that belief there. Let's see what else we have here too. Yeah. Because you have a movement of wands, which would be the Knight of Wands. So you've got this beautiful spiritual energy that's coming in, and you're having this movement of your energies because you're no longer looking at so much investing energy in maintaining these old beliefs that are outdated and that no longer serve you. And so you have this new spark of energy coming in where you want it to move from this into this heart. So this beautiful balance is happening here. And I love this for you because I know being a air sign with your sun, and no matter where you have it in your chart, it takes you into this mental place where that's where all the beliefs that create all these illusions of our outside world, that's where we make a change. And all this beautiful water coming in is helping balance that. Because we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are on the inside. So when we have all those beliefs, it's how we see the world. But as you make this change and this energy changes inside of you, where you're focusing your energy, you see your world start to change as well. So love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to leave the reading there. I just want to let you know, of course, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings by zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like water signs, air signs, fire signs, etc., and a variety of other readings. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they become available, if you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button down below. That's going to make the notification bell pop up, and just click on that and you can select the setting to be notified immediately. Also, if you're enjoying these readings and want to help share the love, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, then that just allows the mighty YouTube algorithm to share the video as a recommended video with others. So never any pressure to do so, but if you feel like it, I definitely appreciate it. So thank you. All right. Well, just know as you're going throughout this amazing full moon period that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing full moon experience. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.